Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm doing something today that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and that is a teen mom Q&A question. So I asked my Instagram to ask me anything and ask me questions about being a teen mom, and I got a couple questions. I probably got, let's see how many questions I have. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I got 14 questions and I'm going to be answering them right now, right here. So I hope you guys stay tuned and watch till the end. So the first question is, how long were you in labor? So I was in labor. My water broke early, so I was in labor for a very long time. The hospital had to stop my contractions a couple times, so I was in labor on and off for a couple weeks. So when I was officially in labor, when they induced me at the end, I was in labor for 2 hours, but majority of the time for those couple weeks I was on and off of labor because they kept stopping it because they didn't want me to give birth that early. So my second question, are you and your baby dad still together? Yes, we are still together. We have our own apartment together, and yes, we're still together. Is it hard being a parent? Sometimes, at times it does get hard, like when he whines too much, or like mostly in the beginning when he was smaller, it was very hard. But it wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like extremely hard, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. But it was hard at times, like waking up at 3 in the morning was difficult for me. Like just the schedule, it was different because I wasn't used to that. And you know, you're new at being a parent and you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, it does get hard at times. Still, even though he is 1, sometimes it still does get hard. But you know, that's a part of being a parent. So what is his name and who came up with his name? His name is Xavier, and his father came up with his name. I wanted something similar, but his father like came up with that name. So I wanted Xavier, and he said how about Xavier, and I agreed with it because it's still a nice name, and I think it's a lot better than the one I wanted at first. So that's the name we stuck with, and that's what his name is. How was the recovery process for your postpartum? So my recovery process, it was very I don't know how to say it. It was okay. It wasn't that, like, I recovered. I think it took me 3 weeks to recover, and it was at times painful, but it wasn't that painful. I don't know. I honestly don't remember. Just using the bathroom was very painful. I remember that. But like at times it did get difficult. Like I had like pain down there and everything. But majority of the time it wasn't that difficult. Are you in school? Yes, I'm doing online classes right now. I did take a break from school, like in the beginning of the end of my pregnancy. I took a break from school, and also when I had him. So I just started going back to school a year later. So I took a year off of school, and I just started again, and I'm happy for that, and I hope I do pass, because I was supposed to graduate when I had him and I didn't. So it's kind of difficult. I should have just stayed. Alright guys, my camera just died, so I had to charge it, and somebody started crying, so I took him. So that answers another question that you guys asked earlier. Okay, so I don't remember where I was at, so I'm gonna have to restart that question. If I was in school, yes, I am in school. Who was in the delivery room? My grandmother was, and my baby dad. So they were both in the room when I gave birth. they were gonna tell my grandma to get out, but I told them that I wanted her in there. So yeah. Did your water break? Yes, my water did break. My water broke at 28 weeks, and he stayed in for 4 weeks. So how much did he weigh when he was born? He weighed 3 pounds and 4 ounces when he was born, and he was 17 inches tall, and I think that's tall for his weight. So he was a very tall baby when he was born. And yeah. How long was he in the NICU? He was in the NICU for almost 4 weeks, and he had a little friend in there. His name was Jeremiah. But yeah, he had a little friend, but he was in the NICU for 4 weeks, and they kept telling me that he was gonna come home, and then they changed their mind because either they didn't want to feed him right away. They wanted to keep him on a feeding tube, or like things like that he has a spell in his sleep, just different things they wanted to keep him in for, so to make sure that he will be okay to go home and not just let him go home right away. So yeah, that is why he was in the NICU for that long. But it's okay because he's home now, of course, and it's been way past that. So yes. For the next question is, hold on one second. The next question is, how old are you? I am, right now I'm 19. I just turned 19. Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, but I am 19. Okay. How did it feel giving birth? Honestly, I did not feel it because they was trying so hard to stop my contractions for like the 10th time, because every time I would get contractions, they didn't want me to give birth, so they would put me on IV fluid to stop the contractions, and if that didn't work, they'll put me on morphine. And they had the IV in me, and they gave me 2 shots of morphine, and even with all that, I still felt like bad pain. Like I still felt it. I was numb everywhere else besides my stomach, so the morphine and everything didn't work. So then so they had to induce me because it wasn't working, and since my iron was very low, it was at 25.7, they had to give me iron, and they also had to put me on an epidural because they told me it was dangerous for me to be without it, because I would have lost too much blood and my anxiety would have kicked in. So they told me from the beginning when I was staying in the hospital, since my iron is so low, I need to get an epidural, even if I didn't want to. I didn't want to get an epidural, but I had no choice. So yeah. So how many kids do you want? Honestly, I want 3 kids. The most is 4, and that's it. I don't know, my boyfriend, he wants a big family, but I don't. I want something small. I want to keep it small. I like small little families. I've always liked little families since I was a kid. So the max I would probably have is 3, but honestly, I don't know how my body would handle more kids after this. But when will you have another child? Honestly, I can't answer that right now, but whenever the time is right. How do you want your kids to grow up? I want my kids to grow up with both of their parents their whole life. Like I've always wanted a little family, like because I didn't have a mom and dad both being together growing up. So I honestly want my kids, I want to see my kids happy with both of their parents. And I don't know, that's how I always seen it, because I think families, like I think sometimes, I don't know, the kids sometimes end up more happier in the future sometimes with both of their parents being together, and I would want my kids to see their parents happy together. because I didn't get to see that. So I want my kids to live a better life. I want them to finish school. I want them to go to college. I want them to have a career. I want them to do big things in life, and they could do honestly whatever they want. And that's honestly how I feel. I feel like if you want to do something in life, go for it, because you know, not a lot of people are told, oh, just go for it, go do what you want in life. So that's why some people aren't very motivated to do things in life. But anyways, that was the last question, and so that wraps up. I'm sorry guys, I might have to edit that out, but that wraps it up at the end of this video, and thank you for watching. So stay tuned for part 2, because I might do a part 2 soon once I get more questions, probably different questions. But stay tuned for that, and that video will probably come up in 2 weeks or next week, because I'm going to do that one soon once I get more questions. So thank you for watching it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you stay tuned and hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for another one. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day, have a nice night, whatever it is. Peace out till next time.